grow and enhance your grow with Mac Kush. Feel the power from the leaves and the lush. Every harvest brings a different kind of rush. Let it grow and enhance your grow with Mac Kush.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Glad having you here today for another episode of the strain growing journey. This time featuring Banana OG from the Humboldt Seed Company. This is the genetic we have in our greenhouse and we will harvest it today because the weather is changing a lot. We have a lot of fluctuation in temperature and humidity and this caused us already some problems I explain you later. Now let's see what we did from the early moment when we started to build our greenhouse. Maybe you remember, maybe you've seen the episode when we were building the greenhouse. After building the greenhouse, we put the flowers inside and we raised them. I think it's now day 84 and we are ready to harvest. And then we will get out this plant from the tent and I will tell you some background information why we have an early harvest of it. It's ready, but maybe not completely. Let's see later when we use magnification to take a closer look at the trichomes. For those who haven't seen our greenhouse build, here are some snippets. If you want to watch the full video, it's also online. Well, that's our greenhouse where we put our genetics inside. Also our Banana OG from the Humboldt Seed Company. This plant was growing very well from the early moment. It showed a very dense bud structure, but that was also the problem we forced. Taking a look on the website of the breeder to get some more information shows us that the blend is made for indoor as well outdoor growing. It's a blend made of Banana OG crossed with mint jelly and that became Banana OG Auto, and this is what we have in the greenhouse. So the plant is resilient and it's also made to grow outdoor. But, like mentioned before, the bud structure is extremely dense and this is causing us the problems. Because currently the temperature is fluctuating a lot. From super hot days with 35, 38, even 40 degree. Now we dropped to 28 degree, but with incredible high humidity because it was raining a lot. And so we have 75, 80% humidity and this is not the best. I would actually say it's the worst we can have in late flower. When you have dense buds like the one of the Banana OG, which are very dense and very compact and tall, no matter if we have the fan running 24/7, it's still a problem that there will be moist inside the structure. Unfortunately, I detected it, I immediately cut it out, but it was already too late. On another place or on another branch, a bit of rot appeared. I also cut it out immediately, and when it happened the third time, I thought now it's time to really make an emergency harvest regardless how the trichomes are looking. I checked them, luckily they looked good enough that I can do the harvest, and now we will do that because there is no other choice. If we wait longer we will probably lose the complete blend. And I think we lost already 20% of the whole harvest by cutting out, because when I cut out mold from the plant, I'm not cutting out a bit of it. Then I will cut even the entire branch if it's a small one, or if it's a single bud which is having a distance to another bud, I will cut out the entire bud. And it's a pain, yeah, it hurts, but well, that's how it is. Let's have a last look at the plant in the greenhouse. That's how she looks now. The development of the main cola is fantastic, and here we also haven't forced any problems. It was another cola down below which I had to cut in total. It was the second main cola I had to cut. It was fortunately a smaller one and not so big than this one. And I had to also cut some other parts which you probably can recognize by the injuries on the plant, like here. There is the cut, but the rest is looking still good, and I will take them now out and hang them for drying because I don't want to risk any more mold on them, and I know it will come back as it had shown that it comes back now the second and the third time. The Tropicana cookies is not showing any sign of having problems with mold. Same for the blueberry automatic, but their bud structure is also completely different. They are not so dense and not so packed, so I think this is the reason. As we forced already moisture problems, I decided to not hang the blend in one. I will cut the single branches and hang them separate, that we don't bump into any problems during our drying process. The plant itself will be now inspected if we find any more mold in between the buds, and if so, we take it carefully out and try not to contaminate other parts. And guys, I can only advise you, be very generous when you cut out the mold. Don't do that in a way that you just take a little bit around the corner and trying to cut out a bit. No, you have to really cut out the whole moldy part, even cut out more, that you can ensure there will be no mold particles or anything still left, because you will smoke that later and this can harm your health seriously and can cause you lung problems and other diseases which can come from mold, because mold is actually a fungi. I know it hurts, especially when you dedicated lots of your time to grow the plant. You also want to enjoy the harvest and you want to keep the maximum of the possible harvest for sure. But in a case of risking your health compared to having a little bit more harvest, I suggest you always don't care about the harvest. Care about your health first and don't make compromises. As you might see, the part here is contaminated, so I was cutting out the whole part and I will not use anything of it. I will throw that completely away. That hurts, that really hurts, but it's better than later on having my lung contaminated just because of a little bit more output from my harvest. Here the same thing, this one also caught mold, but the rest seems to be okay. I will do a final inspection now. If I don't find more, that's good. If I find more, we have to cut out more, but it seems we are good so far. The plant is frosty. It carries some sugar leaves, not too many, but at least some sugar leaves, and the buds are very resinous and frosty. So I will also try to press concentrate from it, and I think it will be a good yield. But before we can start thinking of pressing the plant, we first have to try and cure it. It's summertime, so I have to rely on the temperature I can somehow maintain with closed window shades, and this is around 23-24 degree. And the relative humidity I can influence. I set it on 60% relative humidity. Normally I have 15 degree and 55% relative humidity. But this time I'm going to 60% relative humidity as the temperature is higher. I don't want the flower to dry out so fast, that's why I pushed the relative humidity level a bit. But surely not under 75 to 80% like we have in the greenhouse currently. I hope the other plants will not get affected anyhow and I can harvest them also very soon. This one is showing that the rest, which is not contaminated, is looking fantastic and it became big. Let's see how much we can harvest from it. I'm happy with the result. I'm convinced about the plant. This is all good. It looks for me fantastic. Let's get it dried and cured, because I can't wait to see or to feel how it is performing at the end of our journey. Now we will hang it upside down in the rack, like mentioned, in single branches, and these branches get hanged on the rack, put in the room with the conditions I told you before. I will also use a ventilator or a fan which is blowing towards a wall, not directly on the flowers cause it will dry out the buds too fast. So I'm blowing on the other side, on the opposite wall, and this will create enough air circulation that we don't have problems with moisture and don't get even more mold in the drying process. For curing it, this plant will definitely take another 4 to 5 weeks just for the curing process, because I have checked already before. At the moment, surely the chlorophyll level is high, and that's what you also can taste or sense when you smell it. And I think it will take longer than for another genetic to get it down, and especially the curing will make the big difference. I'm definitely sure this is working on that blend. From my experiences, I can tell like that. Maybe I'm completely wrong, we will find out, but I think it's like that, because I had a similar experience with another flower before, which had also a very, boring profile. I can say, boring, like just when you mow a piece of land, the smell you get in your nose, something like that. But later it turned on into a very rich, intensive, complex aroma. But first after it was cured for almost 8 weeks. The banana OG is having a very unique and rich aroma. It's at the same time banana smelling. It also delivers you tropical fruits, cream, earthy tones and spice at the back of the complete terp profile. The really main factor of the terp profile of the banana OG is myrcene, that gives you that sweet, musky fruit smell, kind of like over-ripe banana. Further we have limonene, which adds the fresh and bright layer to our taste, so we have some citrus aromas into our complex aroma profile. And we have caryophyllene, which is another important terpene, which adds the peppery, spicy edge to round up the complete aroma of that strain. Well, I can say I'm looking forward to taste it, and when it's ready we will also have a report about the outcome. I will let you know how it turned out after we cured it. When you hear the name Humboldt, you think instantly of high quality stuff. The Humboldt Seed Company, the breeder behind the banana OG, comes straight from the heart of California's legendary Emerald Triangle. This is one of the most famous cannabis growing regions in the world. Located in the Humboldt country, Northern California, this area has been home of generations of growers since the early 60s and 70s. What sets the Humboldt Seed Company apart from a scientific data-driven approach to breeding is, instead of working with just a handful of plants, they are conducted massive phenotype hunts, growing out tens of thousands of plants at a time to find the most stable, flavorful and potent version of each strain. They don't just breed for high THC levels, they breed for terp expression, raisin production, grower-friendly traits and unique flavors that actually translate from smell to smoke. Banana OG is a perfect example of this philosophy. It's not just a sweet strain with a catchy name, it's the best result of careful genetic selection, field-tested performance and the deep love of crafting cannabis. So when you grow banana OG, you're not just planting a seed, you're planting a piece of California's cannabis history, backed by breeders who live and breathe the plant every single day. Meanwhile, our complete plant is cutted and all the branches are hanging on our rack. This will take now 8 to 10 days for drying, and then we can put them in the jars to do the curing. I hope that this episode was interesting for you. We will have soon more coming, cause we have still the Tropicana cookies to harvest and also our blueberry, which we also need to harvest very soon. No need to mention that we will also do rosin pressing with the strains we are harvesting now, and this is what I will also show you in some upcoming episodes. For those who haven't seen the first episodes of this grower, please feel free to watch the videos. We have episode 1 to 4 already done, where you can also see the process of the Tropicana cookie and the blueberry, which we are harvesting very soon. Well, we are at the end of this video. I hope you like what you have seen. If so, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button, it will help me. And I hope to see you very soon again for another strain growing journey. For those of you who are into extracts, I have a special playlist only for all extractions. Maybe you want to take a look at it, because I have good things there, bad things there. I have fails and errors as well results. Just take a look and hope to see you soon.